Hey folks, welcome to another episode of the Security Table. This is Chris Romeo, joined as always by Izar, Gemini. No, Izar, Claude, and Matt,
That's
Gemini.
special.
they they have pitched their allegiance to a particular AI, and for purposes of this conversation, I will be AI-less because I will try to represent the human side of the world. The challenge Matt's throwing before us is to ask and ponder the question, what if generative AI did not exist? Now, specifically in the domain of AppSec and cybersecurity, what would our world look like right now if this generative AI thing hadn't started running off with all of the future?
Oh, God.
If it hadn't changed to the future, right? We're timeline-wise.
We're going to call this
if-
one the man in the high AI.
If things around 2023 had kept on going as it was versus split off into the AI world, the AI universe.
It's a good question. It's
Yeah.
is time travel required to answer this or no?
I'm
I
still
think we
trying to
can be
decide which one of
predictive.
them is going to be the bizarro word, the one with or the one without.
We
True.
could be predictive and generative.
I just like the idea of time travel,
Ironically.
and I never have a reason to do it. So, I mean,
You never had a reason to do time travel?
no,
I envy
everything.
you.
I mean, so if we're going to get into that conversation, we need to figure out how you feel about timelines in time travel. Do you go back and can you change the past, or can you never?
Yeah,
you can never observe. You can only observe. You can't change.
Follow the Back to the Future rules.
So this weekend I tried to have and I didn't try, I actually managed to. I had a conversation with my AI for it to explain to me the difference between the multi-world theory and the multi-universe theory. And that was an interesting conversation to have.
As opposed to, say, Star Trek, when they went back to the past. They didn't change the future, did they? Not in all cases.
Because there was a branch in there.
Right.
Yeah.
Proving
on the other
that Star
hand,
Trek
Back
is
to the Future,
better.
Back to the Future does change the future back.
It does.
Because there's no branching.
Let's see. What other
Although,
laboratories?
interestingly, when Dr. Emmett went back to the 1800s, actually, they had to fix. That's right. They had to fix the timeline in order to not break the future.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So back to our AI.
Right. So if AI never took us on the alternative path, what would AppSec look like today?
Well, for one thing, we would be getting much less spam. Because less people would be trying to sell us tools that they just AI slopped the heck out of it.
We'd be on the same path. We would have been on the same path of new tools coming out, trying to create new domains of security.
Yeah, but slower. And we wouldn't have a complete domain that has flourished with people having 20 years of experience on a 5-year field. And we would be treading to a lot less material that we have to decide, is this something that I have to pay attention to or less?
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying there's been a glut of products and companies that wouldn't exist without AI because AI is being used to create them?
And to justify them.
What do you mean by that?
You need this because it's AI explosion, and so you need this, right?
There's a whole lot of stuff that we have wanted for a long time that has been instantiated by the promise of AI to be able to gather a lot of contextual data and make it reasonably easy to understand and process. All those wouldn't be around here if we didn't have the capabilities that we have today. Then there is all the classification stuff, promising to put things into bins in ways that regex couldn't, which also wouldn't be around.
Well, I mean, okay, so alternatively, machine learning, right, which is not Gen AI. AI is an application of machine learning.
Mm-hmm.
Machine learning could have advanced still, right? That's the classification problem. Could have
And it
solved that
did,
classification problem.
and it did. But I think that
It
the
would have
way
been a
that it
lot less
came out,
accessible, right?
exactly the way that it came out of labs, came because of that specific application of it that made it all of a sudden much more accessible. If you
Right.
went back in time a couple of years and asked people
4
what's
years.
PyTorch, they would be looking at you like, I don't know, something that Elon wrote to write a flamethrower. I don't know, right? So there is that too. But I like the answers that we got from our AIs. Let's not say which AIs we're using, and people can guess in the end from the answers.
What do they win?
The satisfaction of being right or wrong.
So nothing. Okay, nothing.
Nothing. It's free to enter, and there's no prize.
Exactly. Rules apply.
Well,
Okay,
you
so
can be assigned
Matt, what was
points,
the
but the
question?
points don't. You can be assigned points, but the points don't matter.
Exactly. Exactly.
Fair.
Whose AI is it anyway? Okay, so we asked it, what would it be? And Matt, what did you get?
Well, I got basically it would be manual, reactive, and bottlenecked by humans.
Oh, how dare us humans to bottleneck us something.
It would be an era of deterministic security as a bad, and the way that that's worded is as a bad thing. And if you think about that very carefully, deterministic security as a negative versus the alternative of non-deterministic security as a positive. Think about that for a moment.
Hold on. That's actually a positive, because when I think deterministic, I think predictable.
Yes.
Is the synonym I like to use for that, just to make it make sense in my head.
Yes, you
right?
run the same function multiple times and you get the same output. Right.
Yeah, that sounds like a good thing.
It is
not a bad thing.
Yeah, but consider this: who's answering and what their point of view is. You're asking something to tell you how the world would be if it didn't exist itself. So you would expect that it's going to say, well, it's going to be a bad thing because I'm not around. And one way to say I'm a bad thing, I'm not around if I am AI.
So
hold on, we're not talking AGI. We're talking generative AI.
This is not AGI. This is just the implicit bias of the thing.
Why would an algorithm?
Because it wants to sound helpful, right? So for it being helpful is it being helpful, something existing that is helpful. If that something is not there, then
probably we need to change the query then to say if generative AI wasn't at use in AppSec. It still existed, but it was not available for AppSec.
So I got amused because I gave exactly word by word the same prompt to mine. And one of the things that it says is that the foundational tooling of application security, blah, 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 existed before, blah, 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 blah. None of these are Gen AI techniques. They are deterministic or heuristic-driven analysis engines. Then it says, they would exist exactly as they do, and arguably with more investment and refinement if the industry hadn't been distracted by the shiny object.
So yours had no problem being existential.
Nope, mine has absolutely no problem being self-reflected, and I think this thing is learning from me. I'm getting seriously.
So what? Yeah. It's cynical.
You tell me from the next paragraph. Threat modeling, your domain specifically, is a structured reasoning exercise. PyTM doesn't use Gen AI. Stride doesn't. The Threat Modeling Manifesto doesn't. The discipline would be exactly where it is because its progress has been driven by methodology and practitioner adoption, not by token prediction.
Yep.
I don't know that I agree with that statement, though, because you've at least seen in the threat modeling space generative AI be applied to various tools that help make threat modeling work, like DaVinci, to try to make the grunt work side of threat modeling easier. So I think there has been some positive steps forward, and I don't think it would truly be practitioner kind of driven.
And I agree with you, but as you bring the feature up, it was AI infused, so it was around the process, not around the threat modeling itself. So it made the
Yeah.
process easier, but not the
Yeah.
threat modeling more exact or more perfect or something else.
Is that the term we're
True.
using now? Is AI infused?
Well,
For
I
the
came up
feature,
with it,
it
so
is. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
exactly.
Actually, I think I
That's a
heard someone
Chris
else
Romeo
say
original.
it. I think I heard someone
No,
else say it, and I repeated it twice, 3 times as required, and then made it my own.
As opposed to AI assisted. Anyhow, I updated my query, and I basically got the same results as before, but then an updated verdict.
Oh,
In a world.
in a world.
Let's delve into that.
Without Gen AI, AppSec would be more principled but less productive. We would see a shift towards formal verification and strong typing as the only way to mathematically prove security, rather than the best effort probabilistic security we often see today.
Wrong.
Well, formal verification and strong typing would be mathematical ways of proving
Oh, yeah.
security, and it would be structured and it would be principled.
And they're so highly inefficient that you'll never release an application.
As opposed to using the probabilistic techniques that Gen AI offer.
Well, I think I'm back on Gen AI's team at this point. If formal verification is what we'd be stuck with without it, which is not the case, because we've had that. It's been available to us since the 60s, right? This idea of, it's just that technology or applications became so complicated that to formally verify even an app that's running on one of our phones right now would take 6 months.
Well, alternatively, you'd have to design things in a more structured way, and you know the benefit of Agile to be able to release quickly, but the downside of Agile to be able to release quickly. We've had this conversation before,
multiple times,
right?
And in our sleep also.
Oh no, Agile!
Yeah, and so apparently my AI is a bit more refined than Matt's. For those who are following the plot. And I am having one of those.
You're using like a fancy version of the model, right? Yes.
And it's tuned to an extent, and apparently it's been fed with the shit that I've been writing lately. So my prompt at the end of the answer, it gives a synthesis of the whole thing that it gave before. The domain of application security would look substantially similar to what it looks like today, because its core problems are structural, methodological, and cultural, not generative. The areas where Gen AI has provided real value are primarily in acceleration, faster triage, faster drafting, faster pattern recognition, rather than in capability. The trade-off is that some of that acceleration has come with new risk surfaces and the dilution of rigor.
The delusion of rigor.
So wait, delusion or dissolution?
Delusion.
Okay.
The challenges that would remain hardest without Gen AI are the ones that are hardest with it. Scaling security expertise across large development organizations, making threat modeling a consistent practice rather than a checkbox, and closing the gap between we found the vulnerability and we fixed the vulnerability. Those are people and process problems. They were there before LLMs, and they still are. Welcome to my AI stat talk. It could have been mine.
Now, I do fear that your AI has been, that you're leading the
compromised.
Because it seems like it seems to be answering in a way that I would expect you to answer.
Yeah.
Am I an
question? Maybe that's what we need to test. Matt, how do we reproduce the Turing test? against Izar.
I don't know. You ask AI, I guess.
We have to. Well, that's just compromising this whole experiment, Matt. Let's see.
Wait, isn't that the premise of Blade Runner, the reverse Turing test, or is it the direct Turing test?
I never thought of it as the reverse Turing test.
Is it?
I don't know.
Because you're trying to prove that you're not a replicant.
Yeah,
so
true.
It's the reverse.
There's a site. I don't know if I would go to it, but turingtest.live. Play the classic Turing test in a modern format, featuring conversations with advanced LLMs like GPT-4 and Claude.
Wait, GPT-4 is not advanced LLM. Get out of here. False advertising.
Psst, don't talk too loud. Okay, so where do we land with the answers?
So, the common theme, I think, from mine is predictive and probabilistic today versus deterministic in the alternative world. And rule based, right? So everything being rule based and obviously heavy human in the loop. So is that a good thing or a bad thing? I think we know that deterministic output is a positive in many cases, right? Especially with threat modeling. And having humans in the loop, obviously that's our need to have control, right? But we can probably ignore that one, right? If we fully gave in to the AI and let it do its thing, I mean, everything from writing software to fixing software to fielding vulnerabilities and handling incidents, stuff would move along. Would it be perfect? No.
How long before the world would end? We'd be riding horses and...
How long before, instead of Moltbook, there would be what was the name of the other site, the one for programmers?
Stack Overflow.
A Stack Overflow for agents.
So it's funny you mentioned that. So one of the output here was the Stack Overflow remediation loop.
Get out of my head, AI.
without Gen AI powered coding assistance to suggest secure patches. I don't know if it does that, but sure, the remediation cycle would be significantly slower. So when a developer is told they have a cross-site scripting vulnerability, they'd have to go look that up. So figure it out.
Put an asterisk on that one. I want to hear what Chris was going to say. And then there's something that my eye said.
No, I'm afraid that you're actually an LLM. And given the fact that you basically responded with "get out of my head" to the statement that Matt made, which made me think you were already ahead of the answer here. And I'm really thinking we need to do that Turing test. I don't know what it's going to tell me, but I'm slightly concerned.
I want to finish the answer, but I'll wait for the response here first, Chris.
No. Go for it. There's no response here.
The necessary tactic that would exist because, and again, this is being presented as, I guess I'm reading it as a bad thing.
Okay.
Because of that conversation we had earlier about how AI are trying to be helpful, but they're also, there's an existential discussion here to be had. The tactic, we would return to the search and paste era. Developers would spend hours on documentation or forums. Security teams would compensate by creating golden libraries, pre-vetted images, pre-vetted internal SDKs that handle authentication and encryption. If you want to talk to a database, you must use the company's internal wrapper. It limits creativity, but ensures security by default.
So wait, it's arguing against doing those things? Or hold on, I'm confused now.
It's arguing that that's where we would be right now.
That's where we would be, but that's a good thing. So we shouldn't have AI generate our each individual authentication. Let's just all have our own authentication. Whatever app you're working on, just have AI create its own authentication system for it. Sure, we'll have 500 different authentication systems. It's cool. AI generated it. It'll fix it. That's dumb.
So mine, because of the way that my system prompts are set, it gave me a contrarian view. And it says,
Shocker.
what might actually be better without Gen AI? So 3 things. Less vibe coding, fewer insecure defaults. The volume of AI-generated code entering production without adequate review is a new attack surface that wouldn't exist. The just ask the AI to build its culture has lowered the barrier to writing code while doing nothing to raise the barrier of writing secure code. Okay, second thing. Less false confidence in automated findings. There's a real risk that teams treat an LLM this code is secure assessment as authoritative rather than it is probabilistic at best. Third thing, more investment in secure by design frameworks. If you can't patch the developer skill gap with an AI copilot, you invest more aggressively in frameworks, libraries, and platforms, guardrails that eliminate bug classes by construction. I like my
That's
AI.
kind of the opposite of what Matt's AI concluded.
Although it's interesting,
but this
why
is the
would you not?
contrarian view.
Yeah, but why would you not do that even in an AI generated world?
It closes with, this is arguably the higher leverage approach anyway. So it agrees with you. Why wouldn't you? I like my AI. I like it.
Just don't like it too much.
You know, there's a new music video. It used to be I like my MTV. Now it's I like my AI.
I think it's I want.
Oh, yes, yes. I want my MTV.
I would like to see that clip.
You can generate it with AI.
Yeah, do it before
Right.
is Sora shut down yet?
And actually, that clip brings us to the
Vero. You got VO also, but
it brings us to the big thing of last week. Shout out to you, Artemis 2. That was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This was the NASA rocket.
The NASA rocket. They're going. They're at the moon. I think they're at the moon now, going around the moon. They did have a big bang. They did have a big bang moment when the space toilet stopped functioning briefly.
Indeed.
That could be a big challenge because that stuff just floats around.
The Big Bang Theory did an episode on a space toilet that failed to function.
No,
for those who don't remember,
Wolowitz created it.
Wolowitz,
right? Exactly.
To go to the ISS.
Yep.
Wolowitz. I wish they had a follow-on just for him. No, instead we got Sheldon. Young Sheldon. Wow.
Well, and we got Sheldon's family spin-off again also.
No, we
haven't. Somebody got married or
somebody got married.
Yeah, no.
Georgie and what's her name?
Yeah. No, it didn't. No, we didn't. It's a separate universe. It's a no.
Universe.
Nope. It's a no.
That all right, so where do we go from here?
Back to our AI-driven lives.
Well, clearly my AI is more useful because it agrees with me.
Well, as we know, all models are wrong, but some are useful.
Never has that sentence made more sense than today. I don't think that Mr. Box, if it was actually him that said that there are questions about it, I don't think that he ever imagined that sentence would be used in so many different occasions and it would apply so well.
And hopefully we don't have to owe him royalties.
True, very true. Yeah. So wait. Okay, so let's forget the AIs for a second and let's think it ourselves. If we were to answer the question, and okay, we know that my AI agreed with me, and I'm very curious to know how that happened. But apart from that, where would AI be today if it wasn't for the shiny thing, Gen AI? What do you guys?
Where would AI be?
Sorry, where would AppSec be?
Okay, so I did update my question actually to ask if LLMs existed or generative AI existed in other domains, but not in AppSec. And I just have to read this one because
That's a good one.
It's kind of funny. Perhaps the most dangerous aspect of this scenario is that attackers would still have Gen AI. If LLMs exist in other fields, they exist for hackers to automate social engineering, rewrite malware, and synthesize exploits. So defenders would be fighting in human speed against machine speed adversaries. The tactic would be a defense pivot towards extreme zero trust and runtime protection with microsegmentation and hardware roots of trust to ensure that even if AI-generated exploits break the app, it won't be able to pivot a la Stride LM.
That sounds really good.
That
but
sounds like we should be doing that still.
But I don't think it's actually true.
No, we should still be doing that.
Think about it. Hardware root of trust and a solid hardware platform underneath.
And microsegmentation.
You don't use hardware to pivot between multiple sets of data on a given system.
Right. You would reduce the blast radius. You would reduce the blast radius more broadly than just that database, right? But yeah, you're right. We wouldn't use it for, well, unless you used it for identity purposes, right? In other words, if database access was tied to a physical identity. But that's not realistic.
I don't think anybody's done
that's
that,
not really.
though.
No, it's also not really realistic because the system has to have access, right? And every container, like if you're talking about a containerized system, there's no physical, like all of those containers have access. Almost certainly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So that almost, your AI's response sounded really good, but when we start to unpack it, it's just a bunch of gobbledygook that doesn't really, it's not really a secure architecture. It's just a bunch of words that put together sound really good. And if we didn't stop and pick it apart, we could probably all confidently spout those words and get some people to believe us that this is a good thing, right? But it would be them trusting our reputations, which is why I don't trust AI's reputation.
Is there a reputation system for AI?
In my head, there is.
Yeah, so tangentially, while you guys were going at that one, I asked my AI, I haven't asked, I point out something. I said, you sounded a lot like a bunch of stuff that I had written and published in its answer to me. That's a completely fair observation, and the honest explanation is straightforward. Your published work is almost certainly in my training data. Your book with Matt Coles, your conference talks, your podcast episodes on the security table, your writing about PyTM, the threat modeling manifesto, your positions on integrating security into development rather than bolting it on separately, all of that would have been ingested during training. Blah, 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 blah. The practical implication for you, when you ask me questions that sit squarely in your area of published expertise, you should expect a high probability of getting your own thinking reflected back with a confident tone and no citation. That is useful as a sounding board.
Your AI.
That's useful. My AI is me. That is useful as a sounding board or for pressure testing articulation, but it is not useful as independent validation of your ideas. It would be worth keeping that distinction.
So I do need to know what AI this is because it's really pumping you up. Like I want AI is going to make me feel better about myself. Also,
it also just admitted to copyright infringement.
The bit that I went yada 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 over actually addresses that. That raises a genuine intellectual honesty problem. I presented it as though I was reasoning from first principles when I was substantially drawing on a specific body of work. I did not distinguish between things I can derive from general domain knowledge and things I absorbed from a particular practitioner's published perspective. And I could not make that distinction even if I tried, because I do not have clean provenance tracking on which training sources shaped which outputs.
So it knows it knows it was trained on your data, but it doesn't know specifically its outputs are based on your data.
Yeah, it can't. It knows that it has some knowledge of a source. It can't trace output to source.
And of course not, because of the way the way the programming works, right? And underneath, it can't.
And you know what? I'm fine with it.
It's just because it's you. There's like another you now running around.
It could be worse. It could be trying to tell me that pasta is everything.
So the verdict with Gen AI, and I turned off personalization. So my model has the ability to actually turn off personalization, meaning it doesn't use prior threads. It doesn't use prior threads to inform the current thread. Without Gen AI,
I like picking on people's AI now.
The AppSec domain would be much more
in love with it. They're like, my AI has this ability to turn this on. I'm like, ooh, wow, so special.
Fancy. Without Gen AI, the AppSec domain would be much more bureaucratic. To stay safe, companies would have to be extremely restrictive about what technologies their developers can use. Innovation would be slower because new and unproven frameworks would be banned until the security team could manually write a 500 rule validator for them.
That just seems mean.
Yeah,
it would be maximum would be 400 rules that we would force somebody to write.
We would have solved the talent gap by reducing the need for talent through extreme standardization, turning security into an automated no rather than an assisted yes.
That's a dark view.
It's a horrible
We would have solved the talent crisis
because women said no all the time
by just automating the answer no to people's questions about their security problems.
Well, wait, we could have done that in 2002. 2022, we didn't. Why would we do that now?
I mean, we should have.
Wait. What could we do in 2022?
If we did, Gen AI would never have taken off in a company.
Yeah, because we would have been like, can we?
No.
People would have been like, can we deploy this LLM? No. It's like a toddler. That's the name of this system is toddler. Because that's how toddlers security react to the world.
What wasn't that fun? The time when security could say no,
as opposed to why?
I mean,
no.
Why?
As opposed to,
if you remember, sometimes we used to say no just for the fun of it.
Yeah, totally.
We didn't even really care. We're like, nah, that's not going to work. Too insecure.
Totally.
I don't understand. Well, you need to go study because, I know security. And
instead of saying no, I much prefer the silent look and nodding.
Or you're gonna say
how long am I gonna nod before you walk away?
Yeah. Or are you sure that you just asked me that?
I was thinking more about the disapproving look of just make them feel bad about themselves.
Disapproving means that you are judging the merits of the thing that was just asked. Just staring at people makes them...
That's why I got into security. Was to judge the merit of things that people brought before me.
No. You're going to security to judge people, not the merits of the things that you want to do.
So now we're just judging people.
Yeah.
I did not realize that was an option. Okay.
Well, we don't need AIs.
We don't need AI for that. You could
let's
judge
have AI judge Izar. Let's have AI judge Izar. How many times a day do you ask at that?
At least every morning. I have an agent for that. Hey, how am I doing this morning?
You appear to be doing okay.
Yeah. You're fine.
It just pumps you up throughout the day through your ear.
Yeah. Calm down and carry on.
Let's see. Who is Izar Tarndash? Izar Tarndash is a prominent figure in the
once you know,
cybersecurity
please
industry.
let me know, because I keep asking my therapist and she has no idea.
Is Izar Tarndash what do we want? A good security person?
That's very subjective.
Wait. Now the judgment is going in a different direction. Are we saying good as in competent or good as in not evil?
Morally good?
Morally good?
I come out as rogue.
I'm not. I'm going to be afraid of what it finds.
No, I'm not.
A focus on empowerment over gatekeeping.
Say what now? Focus on what?
Okay. Here's what I asked. I asked ChatGPT, is Izar Tarandash morally good? And it answered, assessing whether someone is morally good isn't something you can determine objectively without a clear ethical framework. That said, here's a grounded fact-based review of Izar Tarandash. What's known publicly? Hold on, this gets better. He is a well-known figure in application security and developer education. 2, he co-founded Security Journey, which focused on improving security coding practices.
Where's my check? Where's my freaking check?
He co-founded Security Journey?
Apparently, I don't remember you at the table, but here, I'll even...
Forget remembering. Where's my check?
I'll put this in the signal just
But
as
hey,
proof
you know what?
that I didn't make this up.
Among all the products that an AI could hallucinate that I co-founded, I would have been the most proud to have co-founded Security Journey.
Okay,
So
that's
yeah,
cool.
kudos to the AI.
That's a blatant... Wow, I've not seen an error like that I've caught.
Chris, what
Quite
have
some
you been
time.
feeding your AI?
I don't really talk to my AI.
That's
I
why
just
it
talk to the-
hallucinates. It's
I
alone.
talk to the voices in my head, primarily.
I mostly
There are-
listen to them.
There are no recorded instances of ethical lapses, black hat activities, or unprofessional scandals associated with Izar.
Scandal. When I think Izar, I think scandal. Hashtag scandal.
Izargate.
Izar, you just want Izargate. You're just asking for, can we just have an Izargate? Okay, so as I continue reading, from a utilitarian lens, your work likely has a positive net impact.
Okay, this is starting to read as an obituary, so perhaps I should stop.
Yeah, I'll have it write you an obituary too.
Oh God, that I haven't tried yet.
That's a bit morbid to write that about yourself. Like to do that on your own, in your own AI. Oh, luckily for you, it says I can't write an obituary for Izar because there's no indication that he's passed away.
Oh,
Writing one for a living person would be misleading.
Okay, here we go. So I let the AI know that we're recording a podcast episode with him, and it said, "Oh well, that changes things." Tell him.
Tell him.
The AI has performed a sentiment analysis on his career and has some concerns.
Oh man.
Yeah, you bitch.
The manifesto purity tests. Is valuing individuals' interactions over processes and tools still applied when the individual is an LLM?
It didn't ask that.
It did. It did. Is he ready to add a 13th principle to the manifesto? Thou shalt not use ChatGPT to skip the hard work.
No, he's not gonna write that.
What?
Are you ready to add a 13th principle to the manifesto? Thou shalt not use ChatGPT to skip the hard work, because an LLM can generate a stride threat model in 3 seconds.
It actually wrote ChatGPT?
It's actually wrote ChatGPT.
And your AI is not ChatGPT.
And it's not ChatGPT. It's trolling you.
Wow.
It's trolling me. Even worse, it's trolling itself.
If you get rickrolled here.
The PyTM paradox. He created a tool that forces developers to write Python code just to get a diagram. Ask him.
Is this a roast? Did you tell it to roast him?
I didn't. Ask him
turning into a roast.
Ask him if this is actually a security tool or just a clever way to ensure that only people he likes are allowed to ship software.
Okay, cut and paste that. Cut and paste that and send it to me, please. I want to read that very slowly. And then I'm going to go have words with somebody I know that works at Google.
Oh, here we go. On the Security Table podcast, he's the voice of reason.
Screw you guys. I'm going home.
Ask him if that's a professional persona or is he just muted half the time because he's yelling at a cloud.
He's yelling at a clown or a
in the
cloud?
background.
A cloud or a clown?
A cloud.
I
He's
thought
yelling
it
at the
was calling
clouds.
us clowns, Matt. I thought it was referring to us as clowns. I was like, whoa, wait a minute.
He's I've categorized him as lawfully grumpy. He wants the world to be secure, but he's deeply suspicious of any solution that doesn't involve at least 3 hours of architectural debate and a reference to an O'Reilly book he wrote.
Well, that's true. That's true. That is true.
I mean, you got to get your reps in. So.
Pro tip for the roast, ask him if he's seen the latest Gen AI threat modeling tool. When he starts his inevitable and justified rant about the hallucination of security, just tell him, it's okay. You can just admit you're jealous that the AI doesn't need a coffee break to find a spoofing threat.
Oh my God.
That's
what
bordering
is
on
that
hurtful.
Thing?
Damn.
Wow.
It's so hurtful.
All right.
Wow.
So Gen AI has earned its keep today.
So you know what? My AI has words for you.
Oh, wait. So now
Okay,
your
those
AI wants to talk to his AI?
No, to him.
Okay,
Those
let's hear
Matt
it.
calls based on his security work. All right, a roast. Here goes. Matt calls the security world's most dangerous stealth operative. The first thing you'll notice about Matt Cole's public security footprint is that you barely notice it. This is a man who co-authored the O'Reilly book on threat modeling, contributed it to CWE, CVSS, and SafeCode, and has held senior product security roles at EMC, Analog Devices, Bose, and now Bell Technologies. And yet, if you Google him, the internet basically responds with, "Did you mean the book?" His individual digital presence is so minimal it could itself be a case study in attack surface reduction.
That's good. Oh, man, that's good. That's good. That was well written. Some digital view could be the example of attack surface
A
minimum.
former colleague described Matt as excelling at creating, establishing, and enforcing policies, methodologies, and procedures that are encompassing, clear, and concise. Read that sentence again. It is the most perfectly on-brand compliment possible for someone whose career has been spent inside large corporations making security programs work. It's an observation that Matt's contribution model is the kind that earns deep respect from the 30 people who actually work with him.
Wow. Yikes. Ouch.
Oh, God. He's doing the thankless, high-impact, unglamorous work of making enterprise product security actually function. Nobody writes badly-ass LinkedIn posts about that. It's basically saying that you are holding everything up, but nobody is going to write about it. Oh my God.
Are you done yet?
Hey, it's a roast.
Oh, I wonder what it says about Chris.
I'm already reading my
own. Wait. On the security table, you have 3 hosts. Chris Romeo is the polished, high-energy communicator. You, me, are the opinionated provocateur who starts philosophical fires. Matt is ... the reasonable one.
I believe that.
The one who says, well, actually, let's think about this from the other side. This is an absolute essential role. And also the one that nobody ever quotes.
That's a compliment.
He does that a lot, yeah. He's the best player of the podcast. Without him, it would fall apart. Nobody buys a ticket to see the best player.
That's just mean.
Oh,
that is mean. And he's probably going to read those and send you a single sentence text about it because that's exactly the kind of person that this roast describes. I like it.
And when I go postal, you will wonder why.
Oh, wait. You're going to like this one. He is the threat model's threat model. Thorough, systematic, and quite effective in ways that only become apparent when you look closely at the outputs. That's high praise. That's high praise.
That's not a roast. I'm okay with that.
No. This one is high praise. I would happily wear that one.
Maybe that's a t-shirt.
All right. Well, we're approaching the 45-minute mark, so it's time to end this experiment in something. I don't even know what to call this.
We got roasted. We got contrarian.
You got roasted, you got posted, and you got schmosted. I can't think of another word.
No, what was it? You got weighted, you got measured, the one from the Knight's Tale, and you were found wanting, something like that. I have to watch that movie again.
You lost me. You lost me at...
You haven't watched The Knight's Tale?
Probably a long time ago.
It's probably a movie that begins with a joust tournament with We Will Rock You in the background, and you have not watched that.
I'm sure I did. I mean, it's an old movie.
It is.
So, like,
oh my God,
all
it
old
is.
Movies, I just don't remember.
It is an old
anymore,
movie.
So.
Oh,
all right, well, folks,
Chris, you didn't see your roast. You didn't see your roast, did you?
I watched it on ChatGPT, and it was actually very nice. So it was a generative video roast for me with Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg was hosting with Elon Musk and some of my other friends. So, all right, but with that, we're out of time. We're at the 46-minute mark. It's been a long, strange trip. That's what most people write in their high school yearbook.
Trip is the operative word here. Yeah.
We did the what if and fell off the cliff.
Yeah, we fell down the rabbit hole to land in the wormhole to I don't know what other
hole.
I don't even know where else we go from there. But thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Security Table. Next week we'll be back with a more structured example of how you should have a podcast. Thanks.